Do I really need a US entry waiver? That's probably the question that you have within yourself. Do I really need a US entry waiver? You may or you may not. So if you have the question of, do I really need a US entry waiver? Well, you know what? Here's how you find out. You contact me, Ken Scott, Senior US Immigration Law Intelligence Analyst with www.usentrywaiverservices.com. And then we're going to let you know once you contact us at the information I just gave you of, do I really need a US entry waiver? And guys, one thing I can tell you briefly is the fact that sometimes you need these waivers, sometimes you don't. I said in the other video that the discount waiver companies keep constantly, and lawyers, these discount waiver companies constantly push these waivers on people because it's a money-making thing for them as well as these Canadian pardons. But a lot of them don't care, don't give a flying flamingo whether you need the waiver or not. They don't even know if you need it or not. So they'll just tell you anything. In terms of needing a waiver, it depends upon your reason for being inadmissible. Give you guys a freebie. Let's just say your name is say Tabitha Jones. And Tabitha, if you're watching or listening, I'm not talking about you, or maybe I am, because maybe you fall into this criteria. So Tabitha is driving down from Peacock's border right over here, going to Seattle, and she's going there to meet her boyfriend. So she pulls up to the booth. The officer says to her, "Where are you going? What's the purpose of your visit?" After he verifies citizenship. So she says, "Oh, I'm going shopping at Bellas Fair Mall." He says, "Oh, okay, what store are you going to buy your items?" And she says, "Oh, I'm not sure." He says, "Oh, well, it's 12 noon. What are you doing on a Thursday, let's just say? I'll go as far as say on a Wednesday. It's 12 noon on a Wednesday. Why are you going down to USA 12 noon on a Wednesday when you should be at work?" She said, "Oh, I don't have to work right now." "Oh, really? Okay." Anything teen inside. Go right there, ma'am. She's going to secondary. They're going to search her phone. And they're going to see messages from her boyfriend, Tyrone. And Tyrone's saying, "Well, baby, you know what? Be here by, I don't know, 5 p.m. We're going to go up to the, almost a seawall. We'll go up to the Space Needle and just have fun. We're going to go out and dinner. And you guys got to educate me on Seattle. I haven't been there for the longest. But let's say, Pier 72 or whatever. But anyway, a nice area. We're going to have a nice dinner, except blah, 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 etc." So he also looks in her car and he finds a suitcase with enough clothes for a month. But she told the officer she's only going down for, 5 days. He's wondering, why are you bringing so many clothes if you're only going down 5 days? Why did your cell phone say you're going to visit Tyrone? And who is Tyrone? And she says, "Oh, he's my boyfriend." "Well, I thought you were going to Bellas Fair Mall." "Well, I am. But why does it say you're going to visit Tyrone?" I don't know. He got her right there. Long story short, guys, what she just did was misrepresentation. She used a false statement to enter the USA. That's the simplistic way of explaining the misrepresentation. So she needs a waiver for misrepresentation. Now, the misrep ones have to be done a certain kind of way. If not, they're going to get denied. There's a certain kind of way, certain time period. You got to know how to do the analyses, presentation with CBP, kind of similar to what I said in the other video. So that person needs a waiver. Now, another scenario. Tabitha is going out to the border and they look in her trunk and they see a bunch of clothing, portraits, the cat's in the back seat in the cat carrier. But I mean, I've always loved pussy anyway. I mean, pussy cats. So because the cat's in the back seat and they look on her IG and she's admitting that she's going to go, again, see the boyfriend. So she tells the officer, "I'm going to see my boyfriend." She says, "Oh, okay. Well, how long are you going to stay?" She says, "I'm not sure." "Oh, well, you need to go inside." So she goes inside. Long story short, he gives her a 5-year ban because she's an intending immigrant. She needs a waiver for that 5-year period. Now, same scenario, Tabitha's going down and car full of items. She admits the fact that she's going to see the boyfriend and she wants to spend some time with him, etc. Now, this officer is in a good mood. He says, you know what? I'm going to do you a favor today. I'm going to let you withdraw your application for admission and let you return to Canada. She says, he says, what do you think about that? She says, I don't know. He says, I could give you a 5-year ban if you want. She says, no, I'm sorry. No. I'm really, really sorry. I just wanted to be completely honest with everything. He said, okay. And the supervisor's, in a good mood, because the supervisor has to be the one to actually approve these bans. The line officer cannot approve it him or herself. They have to get supervisory concurrence for this. So the line officer or supervisor's in a good mood. He says, you know what? We'll cut her some slack. She's never done this before. She got lucky. She doesn't need a waiver. But now the thing with that is, he says, next time you come back here, you better have proof that you have ties to Canada. And I won't bore you guys with the ties because it's a different type of area that we clear. So a couple of months later, certain time period later, I will say, I won't tell you what time period because I don't want the waiver companies using it. She goes back, as long as she went past that time period, she's got the proper ties, and he allows her to go see the boyfriend. That's the key. See, she didn't need a waiver in that case. So you really got to know when you need a waiver, when you don't. You guys probably won't know. The discount waiver companies won't know. So it really just depends. Give you another example. Guy walks outside drunk. He's so angry that he shatters the windshield on an RCMP cruiser. He's just really pissed off. He gets convicted of mischief. He doesn't need a waiver because just mischief. Same thing, fast forward, a bar fight, and he beats the hell out of a guy. There's a way we can get him out of needing a waiver. So it depends on the circumstances and how it's presented, but that's a possibility for that. But then again, good old Joe Smith, who is running around here in Surrey, and he's doing this while he's rolling around, and he's got his head cocked to the side, leaning out the window. So Joe is his nickname, by the way. He has another name, which I won't say his other name. Let's just call him Joe. Joe gets stopped by the Surrey RCMP, and they find out that he has 6 bricks in his SUV, and they find out he does PPT. He needs a waiver. Plain and simple, he needs a waiver, and that's totally different criteria in terms of to get it approved, etc., etc. I'm not going to go into that. I don't want the waiver companies trying to capitalize off this. He needs a waiver. Another example, person that has a 5-year ban. After the 5 years, they say, okay, I think I'm cleared. They go onto the border, and the officer says, wait a minute, where's your waiver? He said, well, I had a 5-year ban, and now it's been 6 years. You still need a waiver. Because that kind of ban requires a waiver. Even though it's past the 5 years, they still need a waiver. Another scenario, we had a woman living in, let's say Seattle again. She lived there illegally for 3 years. The regulations state that when you overstay a certain time period here, then the ban afterwards is so many years. I'll say it like that. So because of that, she tries to re-enter, and he found out she's been living there 3 years illegally. She needs a waiver. Messed up. It's really, really messed up because she broke the law. She broke the US immigration law. And I don't want to sound like a parrot, but in that case, she needs a waiver and some of the other people need the waiver. What's another good scenario? A good scenario is someone was in a store and they stole a $100 jacket. I'm not sure what kind of jacket you get for $100. Stole a $100 jacket. That person may not necessarily need a waiver. And they have theft. And then she has a conviction for, let's say Joe. Joe stole a jacket, and Joe also has a conviction for mischief. We could probably get Joe out of needing a waiver. There's a procedure for that. So it really depends on the particulars. So in terms of answering, do you really need a waiver or not? Here's how to find out. I already told you guys, give me a shout. Ken Scott, Senior, U.S. Immigration Law Intelligence Analyst with www.usentry-waiverservices.com. So, do you need a waiver? Do you not need a waiver? That is the question. And the best way I can answer that is, other than here's how to find out, reach out to me, is it just depends. So, give us a shout. We'll sort you out quite proper. And if you need a waiver, we are the go-to person. If you don't need a waiver, we are still the go-to person. We'll have a handshake, give you a goodbye, and you go on your way, enjoy your life. So, but in the words of my Vulcan colleague, live long and prosper. I don't know if I did that right.